Hi, my name is Jen. I'm a patient of Dr. Usal's. I started running. I'd never been a runner my entire life. Started running during COVID. Everyone took up their hobbies. And then I decided to run a half marathon. I had some weird swelling, thought it wasn't a big deal. A friend kind of pointed it out. I went to a doctor to get checked out. Everyone was concerned. Long story short, went to doctors. I ran a half marathon with compartment syndrome. Following that, I had a fasciotomy. Everything thought it was healing well. Went back to run another half marathon after that. Did 2 Broad Street 10-milers, and I did a triathlon in between that. Was constantly in pain, but told I was fine. It got to a point I couldn't exercise as much, and I called a different doctor. I was not satisfied with the care I got from the previous one, who recommended Dr. Usal, who was able to fix everything, and I now am able to function every day pain-free. The first time I met with Dr. Usal, I called. Easiest thing to set up an appointment. Person on the phone was very caring, considerate. I came into the office and he spent such a good amount of quality time trying to understand my leg problem. He ordered all these different tests to make sure it was best for me, did some injections. It really helped short term, and was adamant he didn't want to rush into surgery until he had test results. He wanted to put it off due to the previous trauma to my leg. I got a nerve test done and it came back with, I think, almost moderate nerve damage, and I had a nerve misplaced in my leg. And that's when he was like, okay, we're going into surgery. So I came back, we talked about the surgery, what it would be like, what recovery would be like. I was a little hesitant because my first surgery was pretty painful and the recovery was very painful. We scheduled it, it was all good. I went to the surgery center, and at that point, that's when he was a little bit more weary of what he was gonna find in there. And then it was him, his PA, and then he also asked Dr. Rabinowitz to come in, and I'm very relieved that he did, because my surgery ended up being, I think, a little, like an extra hour longer than anticipated, and there was 3 of them. The recovery was great. He was fantastic with every follow-up, every concern, everything I thought was maybe a complication wasn't. Just very, very attentive, getting me in if I needed to. Best. And I was pain-free. I woke up pain-free, which was also weird, but nice. So my recovery was, I was not weight bearing on my leg for, I think, maybe 3 or 4 weeks. I came back for a follow-up. We decided to leave the stitches in because I did have difficulty closing because it went through my older scar. But at that point, he said to wean with walking. So the next time I came back in, like, I think 3 weeks after that, and we took the stitches out. My leg needed a little bit more time to heal from the previous trauma. And then I think the surgery was in September. And November, I started PT and doing like a little bit more strength, some jumps, some pushes. And then in January, I started doing like a little bit of jogging and more walking. So it was just a gradual thing. So from nothing to starting to walk, take a few steps, get off crutches, and now I exercise 5 times a week. I would say you're your biggest advocate and go to a doctor that you trust and takes you seriously. Every concern I had, Dr. Usal took very, very seriously, and he didn't downplay anything. If maybe I thought I was being a little worried, something that happened, he just definitely took the time and the patience to reassure me that everything's okay and listen. And I think that's just important to know with any medical provider.